The Tale of Princess Kaguya. A long time ago, there lived an old man who made a living by cutting bamboo trees. The old man was very poor and had to work despite his old age to make ends meet. However, there was something that saddened the old man even more than his poverty and difficult life. He had never had a child. He would wake up early every morning and go to the green bamboo groves, crossing mountains and hills. He would spend the day cutting them lengthwise, tying them into bundles, and carrying them home on his back. From these bamboos, he would make baskets and brooms, which he would sell to earn a little money for himself and his elderly wife. One morning, the old man woke up early again and went to cut bamboo. As he was about to start his work, a bright light appeared among the bamboo leaves, as if a full moon had risen in the sky. The man, looking around in surprise, saw that the light was coming from one of the bamboos. He immediately put down his axe and went towards the source of the light. As he got closer, he saw that this soft light was coming from the green trunk of a bamboo, and in the middle of the trunk stood a beautiful human being, a little bigger than a finger. "I come here every day to work," said the old man. "You must have come here for me to find you and be your father." The man took the little child in his palm and headed home. The tiny girl was so small and beautiful that the old woman started carrying her in a basket so that no harm would come to her. There was no end to the old couple's happiness. Their miserable lives, which had been filled with a longing for a child for so many years, were now filled with the light of this child who had come to them by a miracle. From that day on, whenever the old man went to cut bamboo, he would find golden fibers inside the trunks of the plants, and when he cut open the trunk to take them out, he would find valuable things. In this way, he slowly became rich and lived in comfort. He built himself a better house, and after a while, people started to know him not as the poor bamboo cutter, but as a wealthy townsperson. 3 months passed in the blink of an eye, and during this time, the bamboo child grew up to be a beautiful girl. Her parents dressed her in beautiful clothes and carefully combed her hair every morning. Her beauty was so dazzling that they made her wear veils like a princess, trying to keep anyone from seeing her. The beautiful girl's skin literally radiated light. Even in the darkest hours of the night, there was a constant soft light in their house. Her very presence seemed to have a healing effect on those around her. Whenever the old man felt bad, all he had to do was look into the eyes of his beautiful daughter. At that moment, all his troubles and sorrows would fly away like a bird. Finally, the day came for the beautiful girl to be named. The old couple summoned one of the wisest people in their land. The sage, seeing that her skin always radiated a soft light, as if she were the daughter of the moon goddess, named her Princess Kaguya. Celebrations were held for 3 days and 3 nights. All the old couple's friends and relatives were there. Everyone had a great time at Princess Kaguya's Naming Day celebration. Everyone who saw her said they had never seen such a beautiful human child before. All the beautiful things they had seen and known on earth paled in comparison to the princess. The princess's beauty was heard throughout the country, and people who wanted to see her and even marry her flocked to where she lived. Suits from faraway lands would stay near the house, standing guard all day long, making small holes in the garden fences to catch a glimpse of the princess as she moved from room to room or sometimes went out on the balcony. But even if they waited without blinking an eye, none of them could see the princess. Some wanted to go to the house and talk to the princess's parents or at least one of the servants, but no one would let them in. Despite their efforts being in vain, These suitors would wait outside the house for days and nights without sleeping. But the hardship they endured just to see the princess once did not even seem like a big deal to them. After weeks, most of the suitors who had lost all hope gave up on this love and returned to their homes. Only 5 knights, whose efforts and determination were not exhausted by the obstacles they faced, but rather were fueled by them, remained. These 5 men would not even eat, and if someone passed by, they would fill their stomachs with a few crumbs they were given, thus never leaving the fence. Neither rain nor mud nor the scorching sun could wear them down and make them give up. Sometimes the knights would write letters to the princess, but they would never receive a reply. Realizing that letters would not work, the men began to write poems describing how this hopeless love had left them hungry and thirsty, and what hardships they had endured. But Princess Kaguya did not respond to these either. The winter passed in this way. The snow, ice, and cold winds of winter slowly gave way to the heartwarming breezes of spring. Then summer came, and the scorching sun was scorching everything on the ground and in the sky, but the 5 loyal knights continued to wait. At the end of these months, they all called out to the bamboo cutter one day and told him that if things continued this way, they would spend their lives behind this fence, and asked him to show them the princess out of a little mercy. The bamboo cutter, however, cut them off by saying that he was not the princess's real father and could not force her to do something she did not want to do. Upon this sad response, the 5 knights returned to their homes and began to think about how they could win the heart of this proud princess, or at least how they could persuade her to listen to them for once. They took rosaries and prayed in the temples of their countries, burned incense, and asked for help from Buddha to achieve this desire that was burning in their hearts. Days passed in this way, but the knights were not able to rest in their homes. They set out to try their luck once again. This time, the old man came out to talk to them. They asked him to tell them what the princess's decision was, to go and tell his daughter how great their love for her was, how miserable they had been for seasons at the foot of this fence, how they had not been able to sleep or eat a proper meal. If the princess would give them a chance to see her, they were ready to see this torture they had endured for so long as a blessing. The old man, who was inwardly sad for these young men, listened to them. In fact, he also wanted his beautiful daughter to marry one of the knights who loved her so much. For this reason, he went to Princess Kaguya and said, "My daughter, I know you came to me from the heavens, but I worked and toiled to raise you as my own child. I know that you love and respect me as your own father. This old father has a request for you. Will you fulfill it?" Princess Kaguya said that there was nothing she would not do for her father in this world, that she did not remember where or how she lived before she came to this world, and that she therefore considered the old man her real father. The man's heart was filled with joy when he heard these beautiful words. He told his daughter that he wanted to see his only daughter get married and be happy before he closed his eyes on this life. "I am an old man. I am almost 80. I don't know how many more days I have to live. My wish is that you choose one of these 5 young men as your husband." The princess's face wrinkled. "But why?" she asked. "I don't want to get married." Upon this, the old man said, "I found you many years ago when you were just a tiny girl. I saw you thanks to the light that was hiding inside you. I always thought you were more than a mortal. It's okay if you don't want to get married while I'm alive, yes. But when your mother and I say goodbye to this world, who will be with you, my daughter? My heart will not allow you to be all alone on earth. So please, don't upset your old father. Choose one of those 5 brave men who are ready to sacrifice their lives just to see your face once, and marry him." Upon this, the young princess said that she did not think she was as beautiful as everyone said she was. Even if she decided to marry one of these 5 knights, these people who had never seen her before might change their minds later. For this reason, even though her father said they were such valuable knights, the girl was not sure about them and therefore did not want to see them. "Okay," said the old man, "but then who will you agree to see? These men who have made their homes outside this fence for months did not seem like fickle youngsters to me. They sat there hungry and thirsty, rain or shine, and their only desire was to win your heart. What more can a person do?" Upon her father's words, Princess Kaguya said that she would meet with them, but first, she wanted to test the knights to make sure their love was real. All 5 knights had to bring something the princess wanted from a distant land to prove their love. That evening, as the knights played flutes and sang the songs they had composed for the princess in front of the house, the bamboo cutter came out and joined them. He told them how much he appreciated all the hardship they had endured for his daughter's love and conveyed the princess's message. The one who succeeded in bringing what she wanted would have the honor of marrying his daughter. The purpose of this task was for the princess to be sure of their love. The knights gladly accepted this test. After all the hardships they had endured for so long, the princess was finally asking them for something. This happiness alone made them forget all their past misery and fatigue. Princess Kaguya asked the first knight to go to India and bring the stone bowl that belonged to Buddha himself. The second knight was asked to climb Mount Horai, which was said to be beyond the eastern sea, and bring a branch from the legendary tree that grew on its summit. This tree's roots were made of silver, its trunk of gold, and instead of fruits, white jewels hung from its branches. The third knight had to go to China, find the fire rat, and bring its skin to the princess. The fourth knight was asked to find the dragon that carried a 5-colored jewel on its head and bring the jewel to the princess. Finally, the fifth knight's task was to find the swallow that had a seashell in its belly and bring this seashell. Although the old man tried to dissuade his daughter, thinking that each of these was a very difficult task, the princess said that she could only marry one of the knights under these conditions. When her requests were told to the 5 knights, they could not believe what they heard. They thought that the princess, who had given them these impossible tasks, wanted them to give up on this love and return to their homes, and this thought broke their hearts. But because of the love that had sprouted in their young hearts for the princess, the hope of being able to see the princess made them think that these tasks might not be so impossible after all.